Hello, this is Sarah with Posh Pooch Designs, and today's video I'm going to show you how to make this fun little leprechaun hat. And you can make it with or without these fun little braids. If you're going to use this on a dog or a cat, you make it exactly the same. And I just added these braids because you can gently tie them underneath their chin if you want to, or not. This is basically just a prop. It can be used for a baby. It can be used for your table decorations. Set one on everybody's plate. Use it as a place marker. It's just a lot of fun if you're going to have a St. Patrick's Day party. You can also pin this onto a headband and wear it yourself. So, I mean, it's got a lot of things that you can do with it. It measures about 3 inches tall, so it's not real big. And this is a free pattern on my blog, and I'll put the free blog link right down there in the notes under the video. What you're going to need is 4 colors of Red Heart Super Saver or any worsted weight number 4 yarn. Today I'm going to be using these 4 colors. The orange and the yellow and the black are just basic, and I decided to go with just a little bit brighter green just for fun, and also to make it be able to see just a little bit better. You're going to be stitching today with our H hook, which is a 5mm. We're going to be using a needle because we have to weave in our ends and sew on our little buckle, and you're going to need your scissors, of course. So go grab your supplies, and even if you don't have green, you know, you can make it any color that you want. It's just a fun little top hat. Make it in black and white and use it for a wedding decoration. How about that? So anyway, grab your supplies and we will get started. We're going to begin stitching the center of the hat and then work our way down to the brim and then add the buckle and the braids. So we'll be starting with our green. And the first thing that we need to do is to make our slip knot and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the first 3 chains count as a double crochet. So we're going to place 9 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook, because again the first 3 chains counts as our first double crochet, and we want a total of 10. So we're going to stitch 9 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook. So here's our 4th chain. We've already looped our yarn over. We go in the stitch and pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the second 2. So that gives us 2 double crochets, and we're going to stitch 8 more double crochets right in that same chain. Let me get that string out of the way. Let's see how many I've done. Here's our chain 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need 8. 9 and 10. All right, so we're going to join to the top of that chain 3 with a slip stitch and chain 3. Now, mine doesn't have too much of a hole. Sometimes I get a hole, sometimes I don't. If you have a little hole there, I'll explain to you when we're done how to close that up. For row 2, we're going to place a double crochet right in that same stitch as our chain 3, and then we're going to place 2 double crochets in each of the double crochets around. And so we're going to go from 10 double crochets to 20. So 2 double crochets in each double crochet around. So 2 double crochets in each stitch around. We're going to join to the top of that chain 3 and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, now the third row, we're going to place 1 double crochet in this same stitch as our chain 3. Then we're going to place 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. Some more yarn out here. Then we're going to place 2 double crochets in the next. So 1 and 2. And that's what we'll be doing around. 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 double crochets in the next. And we'll do this all the way around for row 3. 1 double crochet in the next 3, 2 double crochets in the next. 1 double crochet in the next 3, 2 double crochets in the next. So I finished my stitching on my 3rd row. I'm going to join to the top of the chain 3 and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And on row 3 you should have 25 stitches. Now for this next row we're going to be stitching in the back loops only. And what that means is if you look on the top of your stitches, you have loops on the top. Looks like a braid, or it's where the chain edge is. The loops that are your front loops are the loops that face you. The back loops are the loops that face away from you. And we're going to be stitching in these back loops. We're going to place 1 double crochet in each of the back loops all the way around. So I'm going to yarn over. This is the front loop. This is the back loop. So I'm going to go through the back loop and stitch a double crochet. Going in the back loops, just like that. And this is just going to give our hat the shape that we want as we go down around the side. So don't stitch in the front loop, stitch in the back loop all the way around this row. 1 double crochet in each double crochet around, stitching in the back loops only. And when you look at it, you can see it leaves a little bit of a line there. And let me show you on this one. If you look around this hat, there is a line going all the way around that showed you that I stitched in the back loop only. So after you finish this row, join to the top of your chain 3 and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now that's the only row that will work in the back loop only. The rest of the rows we will not. And you can see that it will give it that nice look that makes the top of the hat look similar to a regular top hat. All right, now what we're going to do for the next 3 rows is we're just going to place 1 double crochet in each double crochet around. We're no longer working in the back loops, so go ahead and stitch through both of those loops, placing 1 double crochet in each double crochet around, then join to the top of the chain 3 and chain 3. And we'll do this for 3 rows. 1 double crochet in each double crochet around for 3 rows. And then we'll change colors and add our black row that represents our hatband. So 3 rows of 1 double crochet in each double crochet around. So this is what your hat should look like at this point. Here's the top, and we came up the side or down the side. We did 1 row stitching on the back loops only, and then 3 rows of double crochet and join to the top of the chain 3. Now on the last row, don't chain 3 with your green because we're going to add in our black yarn. And this is just representing the hat band on our hat. Now we're going to join in our black yarn. Do not cut your green yarn. We're going to leave it attached because we're going to come back and stitch 2 more rows of green. And we don't want an extra piece of yarn to tie in. And so we'll just leave that attached and we'll grab that back up when we need it. So we're going to join our black yarn in and chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're just going to stitch another row of double crochet, 1 double crochet in each stitch around our hat. And I know that black is difficult for you to see, but we are stitching 1 double crochet in each double crochet, just like we did in our previous rows. We'll stitch 1 in each stitch, 1 double crochet in each double crochet, all the way around, and then we'll join to the top of our chain 3, and then we'll join our black yarn, or then we'll join our green yarn back in to finish the hat. One double crochet in each double crochet around with the black yarn, and join to the top of the chain 3 again, and then just clip your black yarn. And we'll move that out of the way as we're done with that. And we're going to join back in our green yarn. And what we'll do, you can see it's still there on the inside. We'll pull it into that black loop, and then we'll take that yarn and snug that black one down, and then we'll chain 3. And that just, it's going to be right there, but it's okay, it's not in the way. And when we tie down our black ones, we can kind of loop that down over that. But that's how you join your green one back in without having to cut your green yarn. All right, let's make our hat band, or our hat brim, I should say. The black was our hat band. Now we're going to make the brim that sticks out on our hat right here. All right, so we're going to we chained 3 with our green. We're going to place a double crochet in that same stitch. There we go. And then we're going to place 1 double crochet in the next double crochet, and then 2 double crochets in the next double crochet. And this is how we'll do all the way around, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. 1 double crochet. I'm going to kind of spread that so you can kind of see it, because I know black is really hard to see. 1 double crochet in the next double crochet, and then 2 double crochets in the next. And that's going to help our hat band start to stick out flat. So 1 double crochet, and then 2 double crochets in the next, all the way around our hat. And you'll see your hat start to stick out like that. All the way around, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and then we'll join to the top of that chain 3. So 1 double crochet in the next, 2 double crochet in the next, all the way around our hat. To finish the edge of our hat brim, we joined to the top of our chain 3, and we're just going to chain 1. And we're going to place 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then we're going to place 2 single crochets in the next. 1, 2. If you're not sure what a single crochet is, you put your hook through the stitch and pull up a loop. You yarn over and go through both loops. And that's a single crochet, American style. So 1, 2, 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and 2 single crochets in the next. And this is just going to give us a nice finished edge on the brim of our hat. It's going to help it with shaping too. How this one sort of curls on the edges so that it sits cool. That's what we want our hat to do. So let's go ahead and finish up the brim. 2 single crochets in the next, and 1 single crochet in the next 2. 2 and 2 all the way around the brim of the hat. Then we'll join to the first single crochet and tie off. and then I'll show you how to do that cute little buckle. So our brim is all finished and tidied up, and I went ahead and got everything weaved in except the center, and I'm going to show you how to take care of that when we're done with the buckle. So let's go ahead and make a buckle. The way we do that is we get our yellow or gold yarn or whatever color you want to make your buckle, and we're going to slip knot, and then we're going to chain 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So we have 13 chains. We'll move that needle out of the way. And we're going to begin by one single crochet in the second chain from the hook. There's our first one. We're going to go in the second chain. Make one single crochet, and then we're going to single crochet in the next chain. And then in that third chain, we're going to place 2 single crochets, and that's going to form our first corner of our buckle. Then we'll single crochet in the next 2. 1, get in there, there we go, 2, and then we'll single crochet 2 single crochets in the next corner, and that's going to make our second corner. So now we have 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and then 2 single crochets in the next chain for our third corner. 1, 2. Then we'll single crochet in the next 2. 1, 2, and then 2 single crochets in our last chain for our last corner. Now we're going to join to that first single crochet with a slip stitch, and then we're going to tie off, but we need to leave ourselves a little bit of a yarn tail, about 12 or 18 inches, to sew our buckle onto our hat. So we'll go ahead and tie that off, and before we sew it on, we're going to weave in this tail where we started from, and we'll just stitch that in the back and just weave it in. Make sure you go through a couple of stitches, and then we'll tie that off. There we go. All right, so now we're going to stitch this onto our hat. Let's see, about right here. All right, so we're just going to place the buckle on, and then we're going to thread that long tail that we cut, and I'm going to go right in that next stitch. So I'm on the back side and try to shape my buckle to a nice square, and then I'm going to stitch up these stitches that are right next to the center, and just right next to the center of that buckle. I'm not stitching around like these whole edges here. It's just in the center, because I think that will make the buckle lay nicely. There. So our buckle stitched on. We're going to go to the back and weave in those ends. Make sure your yarn doesn't show through. And it's on there nice and tidy. Alright, so for the last thing that I want to do is, remember I told you that you might have a hole in the center of your hat? We're going to flip that wrong side out, and we're going to take that string and make sure the center of our hat is closed. And you do that, I'm just going to hold it in my hand like this, and I'm just going to go around that first row of double crochet stitches, and it sort of gathers it up. And this is just in case you have a hole. Now you may not have one, and then once you gently tug on that and close that hole, then stitch back the other direction, making sure to go through stitches, and that's just going to make that hold. and then we'll cut that string because we don't want a hole in the top of our top hat. All right, so we're going to flip that back over, and there's the top hat. It needs a little shaping there at the top, but there's our little top hat. And now we can add some braids. All right, to make the braids, you're going to need to cut 3 14-inch pieces of orange or rust yarn for each braid. I only have a 6-inch ruler here, so what I do is I kind of eyeball it a little like this, and then I go, there's 1, 2, 3, and I make sure that I cut this in the same as that one. And I do that twice, and then I cut those strings, and you end up with 3 pieces of yarn. Now, to put them on, here's your buckle, and you want to center them underneath. And we're going to turn it up like this, and we're going to put our hook through 2 stitches in the center, like this, so that we can pull them through and it's not going to show through on the front. So we're going through 2 of our back stitches, and this is the row that is after the black row brim. It's the before the single crochet row. All right, so we're going to loop those on and pull it through nice and gently. And we're going to even that up just a little bit. Then we're going to braid it. So what I do is I take 1 from each side so that I have 2 strands each, and I just begin to braid. And I don't braid real tight, just nice and loosely. And this way it's underneath. You can use it as a tie or just a decoration. I like using the bright orange because I think it adds just a little extra pop. All right, then when you get down to the edge of your yarn, you take it like this in your hand, and you just roll it over your finger. Push those ends through the loop and gently pull that down. Then just take your scissors and snip those edges even. And we'll do that on both sides so that you'll have 2 braids for your decoration, for your St. Patrick's Day party, for a photo prop. You got a baby born on March 17th. It's a great photo prop. And the truth is, you can make these in any color and use them for any holiday. It's just a fun little top hat with a buckle with braids.